who blew off his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy dude from campaign 1 with the gunpowder. Fucking love him.
Look at that. Live.
Yes!
I like that. I'm just gonna hit the button and make it live.
No, that's perfect. That's what needs to happen.
No, I told him to go ahead and send it to catch the tail end of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
I would just like to point out, we went live as you said blew his fingers off.
Perfect.
That's fair.
I don't think there's a better way to enter the live scene than a
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to Unsupervised and Undercaffeinated. Well, can't really say undercaffeinated today for me, but unsupervised and undercaffeinated. Tonight we are diving into For the Party session 5, but this is our second live stream. Does anybody have any business they'd like to get to? Anything?
Leveled up.
Any random business? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is now level 4. And this session will end our introduction arc to the Fall of Shadowfell. And I'm excited with where we're going next and over the next probably 5 or 6 sessions.
This is a long prologue.
Also kind of scared, but listen, y'all got tied up in that labyrinth for a minute.
Well, whose fault is that?
Right.
It's not my fault y'all found flowers. It's not my fault y'all found connections in something there wasn't connections.
We like the pretty flowers.
I mean, it's also
It
not
means
our
something.
fault that you put down the most beautiful flowers for us to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Peonies and roses. I picked 2 of my favorites.
We'll see. There you go.
And they're lovely. And you were being so specific about them, we felt like there was probably something important.
And now they are important, or at least one of them is.
You're the one that asked about what variety of peony and what variety of rose.
I have a slight obsession with knowing the meanings of things. Okay?
Only a slight obsession?
Only a slight one.
Listen, I don't need to know what it means. I'll find meaning in anything.
Mm-hmm. True.
That's fair.
Just keep handing them out.
You little Swifty, you. You find Easter eggs in everything.
Mm-hmm. It all means something.
All right. So, who would like to do the recap for me?
Really easy. I don't mind doing it.
Go for it.
So we walked our way through the rest of this weird place and got to this room with these creepy ass tombs. And I really liked this one with the flower on it. And then there was this weird creepy voice and things were happening. We found the way out. I threw something in there, and as we were leaving, it all tumbled down. So why did I even do it for? And now we're staring at this building in the distance that I think might mean something.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah.
And in character.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take an inspiration. Wow, my brain turned off.
Nice.
It's true. Even I understood it, and I'm the dumbest one here.
Why do you think she kept it short, sweet, and to the point?
Yeah.
She is your sister. She knows how to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys walk out of this labyrinth back into, as I fully forget the name of the forest. Give me a second to go back to Blightgrove Forest. Back into the Blightgrove Forest. This seemingly endless expanse of dead, naked trees, branches just out for all to see. That is eerily quiet. There's no sign of Brahm. No sign that he's even been through this way. What do you guys do? You have a path ahead of you. But what do you guys do?
Well, last session you'd also said the sun was going down. So I think our
Yes.
best bet is actually to make camp for the night right now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Agreed.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Here in
Oh.
front of building that just collapsed, where things might escape and
There is no sign that there ever even was a labyrinth behind you. There's no sign that it ever existed.
don't like that. Nope.
Mm.
Really don't like that.
So what you're saying
So
is
are you
if
guys?
I turn around right now, I wouldn't see. In fact, I'm going to turn around and make a perception check to see if I see the labyrinth.
All right, go ahead.
Because now I'm hyper fixated. The DM
Mm-hmm.
hyper fixated me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I forgot my dice.
I did, or your DM brain did.
Both.
Yes.
Also,
Both is
just
good.
noticed, use not in roll 20.
Oops.
Used.
Oh,
I got everyone except tenacity.
what had happened was I
Yeah.
switched over to that game. I just forgot to launch said game.
Ah.
14.
14. So you turn around and you just see expanding forest and a path leading back through where you swear there you guys were just in a labyrinth for half the day.
Okay.
No sign that was ever there. No like foundations, for lack of a better term, of the wall. None of it. No one would believe you if you told them that you went through a labyrinth.
Hmm.
That wasn't a labyrinth. That was an escape room. An escape room with
I
danger
mean-
doors.
I mean, Bloodworth did trigger the speaker towards the end.
I
Yeah,
know!
So far, that has been my favorite moment of the campaign, too. Anyway,
I don't think Tenacity would say anything. I think it's one of those things that he just kind of puts in the back of his mind as a mental note of, oh, that's kind of weird. I don't know if I like that, but I don't have enough time to process it right now. So he'll just take a mental note and might talk about it later.
all right.
So-
So, are you guys bedding down here or traveling, pushing forward a little bit
Should
first?
we look for a spot that looks kind of protected, like we did the first time we slept?
I would
Do you want
agree.
the one to look
Yeah.
with me?
I will agree that we should move a little bit away and look for somewhere with some
Mhm.
shelter.
Yeah. Valpez
I
will basically take up the lead, essentially. given I'm probably going to need to roll survival to find us a spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of us can give you a
Does
hand.
anyone want to assist me so that I can get
Um,
advantage?
Temperance will go up front with you and kind of look around and point things out. Does that look good? Does that look good?
Just gives you a piece of candy.
Pavlov.
Look, if I can Pavlov her into staying with the party, is it really a bad thing?
Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Oh, hi. All right. Rolling survival.
Please take the advantage.
Ah! I didn't need it. I had an 18.
We'll try for the 20.
Excellent.
Try.
Oh, it's for
No,
That-
roll 20 does a thing where I can do
Oh, okay, I did it.
advantage and like basically 2 rolls at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
The wonders of roll 20. We are not
I'm
sponsored
so
by
glad you
them,
taught me
but
how
we
to
wish
use
we
it.
were.
Right.
What?
Maybe that.
I mean, hey, if they want to.
Maybe eventually once we get a decent enough following, I'll reach out to him.
Yeah.
But so with an 18, you guys scout up a little bit with Temperance, pointing out some random, it's essentially random spots that may or may not work. But eventually, you guys find a clearing that's kind of tucked away a little bit off the path, but also surrounded by trees and bramble that would give decent protection for the night.
Okay. So who wants to take first watch?
Lopez will raise his hand while he's getting the clearing
Yes.
kind of fixed up for the for us to camp.
I swear, if it's Volpez and Bloodworth again,
It's going to be Bloodworth.
It's probably
I
going to
swear.
Lopez.
Um,
be. Unless Arletto wants to stay up with Volpez this time.
Alright, let us.
Because I know he's got questions.
Yeah, if Arletto stays up, then Bloodworth will handle that.
Oh no!
Bloodworth will be okay with that.
I'm so excited. Temperance. Would you like to take a second or third watch with me?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh crap! I left my binder with all y'all's characters across the camper.
Yeah, Arletto
Go get it.
will take first watch with Lopez because he has so many questions.
All right, so you guys get your camp set up, get the fire going, have some din din, and then Arletto and Volpez, you guys stay up for the first watch while everyone else beds down to get some rest, some much needed rest. So would one of you roll a d20 for me?
I think I rolled it last time. No, he did. Do you want to roll it?
Sure, I'll roll it.
Yep, just a straight D20, no modifier.
8.
8.
Oh dear.
All right. All right. Go ahead and roll one of y'all roll a D12 for me.
I'll take care of that one.
Yep.
I know which
Oh,
one I want
no.
you.
I got a 1.
That's not the one I was hoping you'd get, but it's still a good one.
Oh boy.
I don't like the sound of that.
Oh no.
Whispers in the fog. So you guys are on your first watch, and you both start hearing strange, unintelligible whispers echoing from the surrounding trees. If you try to listen close, you hear snippets, just little chunks of what's being said, but you hear your names and vague threats being mixed in. Give me a perception check.
Both of us?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had advantage.
26.
8.
All right. So, Arletto, you don't quite pick up on this, but Voltez, you hear these and you start hearing like your name and just these vague veiled threats, just little snippets of it. And you notice that these voices aren't just distant, they're coming from the forest itself, almost calling you guys to it. To venture deeper into the forest and further off the path.
Yeah, Volpez just sits in his tree and then continues to stare off into the distance, ignoring them. He's heard worse.
Arletto's eyes are flicking around with a mixture of annoyance and concern, but if he can't tell where they're coming from, his eyes just flick around the clearing and the woods every couple seconds before while still sitting in his tree. Not drawing any of his weapons, just sitting there, his eyes flicking around rapidly.
All right. So anything you guys would like to do during your watch with all this going on?
Begins.
Give me 1 second. Arletto is going to do something. I just need to pull up something real quick. Is not where it was supposed to be.
He's pulling up his list of questions to bombard you with. Interrogation begins.
Literally pulls out a full-on sticky note full of questions he's quickly jotted down.
And all you guys are hearing is basically yeah, the rain.
No.
Return the slab.
Return the slab. That is hands down the creepiest Courage the Cowardly Dog episode.
Oh yeah.
But it is also arguably one of the best.
Oh yeah.
My other favorite is when that I can't remember his name, but that French duck comes back in season 2.
not the duck.
I love that little French duck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Arletto is after. I'm assuming that the whispers don't really stop, they just continue in the background.
Yep, you guys are hearing them your entire watch.
After they don't dissipate or change for maybe 20 minutes or so, Arletto eventually glances over at Volpez in a tree to the side and asks him, I've been meaning to ask. I'm quite certain that I've seen you cast Druidcraft, and that is. He frowned. Something I feel like does not seem to line up with your other abilities that I've seen. He's curious. He's not really asking that important of a question. He's more so almost testing how Volpez is going to respond.
Volpez is quiet for a moment. Kind of like thinking about how he wants to answer this. And decides to go the simple route. Spend some time with some druids. Well, a druid. A good number of years. That's all. Pardon the sneezes happening on my end. One of my housemates is currently dying.
Oof. It's never fun.
It's not wifey, is it?
No,
Okay.
it's her other husband.
Okay.
Get out!
It's the
Go!
first.
Be gone with you!
It's the first husband.
Yes, and he just snuck up on behind me. And that was me yelling at him.
Yeah.
Stay
Go
away!
on, shit!
You don't want him
First
to get you
husband, we
sick?
are live.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
You were asking questions?
Arletto considers that answer for a moment and then seems to. He doesn't really seem to question it. He was, again, mostly just testing the waters, seeing how he'd respond. And after a couple more minutes, he is going to. He's gonna glance at Volpez again, and he's going to ask quietly. Almost. The question that he's asking seems almost like he doesn't actually want to ask it, and he seems hesitant as he pauses and then says, I'm not going to ask you too personal question, I hope at least, but your more otherworldly powers, you control them, or do they control you? He seems really hesitant to ask the question, and he asked it very slowly.
Huh. It's really hard to think about how to answer a question without actually answering the question.
And to be fair, there are more answers to that question than Arletto gave. He just doesn't think there are.
Yeah. Hmm. Volpe's still looking away from you, looking out towards the forest, keeping watch, his eyes scanning just in case anything comes towards us. He seems more tense now. Like, you can almost see that his muscles have contracted together. And just kind of adjusts himself for a moment, as though he's kind of like trying to shake something off. The ones I've shown you, I control.
Arledo sighs softly at the way he phrased that. He shakes his head. He shakes his head slowly and says, "I have more questions, but do not know if now is. I do not think now is the time to ask." And his eyes are going to drift back to the forest, where the whispers continue, seemingly not entirely, seemingly slightly on edge from that response, but also not quite. It seems that that response answered him two questions, and he liked one answer and didn't like the other. At least in his head.
Why do you ask your questions?
Arletto glanced back at him and considered for a few seconds. I like to know, to understand at least as much as they will let me, the people who I'm traveling with. The few times when I have traveled with others in my past and not truly understood them, it has gone very badly for all involved. He paused and then continued. I am most commonly a lone traveler. I do not group with people. I do not have allies in most of my journeys. So, when the times that I do, I like to know what I can about them.
This time he looks at you, glancing at you with only the one eye. And seems to gleam almost approvingly. Sometimes it's easier to travel alone. But someone once told me that being alone is not what is best. I don't know what to tell you and what not to. Too many times have I said things only for everything to come crashing around me. I don't know what is safe to say and what is not. So I choose to say nothing. Or give you the vaguest answer I can while still being truthful. I don't know this world. I don't know how to handle the living. The dead have been my only friends. The only place I have ever felt safe was in the fortress of a vampire and the forest of a creature from beyond our world. Whenever I've been around ones like you, ones like them. He pushes back his hair, showing his patron's eye, essentially, and the scars that cover his face, showing you the 3 gouges that allow you to almost see his teeth and into his mouth. This is what awaits me. Every time. Only pain. Only suffering. Only loss. I have lost enough. I do not wish to lose more. Especially when I have so little left.
You can see very obviously in Arletto's face as Lopez, as he continues in, that Arletto has, in some strange way, Arletto's trust of Lopez seems to have gone up, as well as, in a significant amount, his respect of Lopez, from what Lopez just said. And after a few moments, he says quietly, I understand some of what you speak. I cannot say how similar our experiences have been, but I have been betrayed before by people who I cared about, people who I opened to, and he paused quietly. I do not necessarily know how much I can so say of myself when the time has come and I am asked, but he nodded. I can respect your hesitation, and I will not ask more.
What I have been through, I wish upon no one. What I have been through, I have been told is the worst that any has to offer. I would not even wish it upon an enemy. When one spends so long locked in a cage, sometimes it leads one to listen to the voices. I cannot. But if I do, I will only repeat history like I have twice. And that is not the path I ever followed.
Arletto looks away for a few seconds and then looks back, asking quietly, "You wish it upon those who did it to you?" And that seems almost almost more of a question to himself, but it's loud enough that Lopez can hear it.
With what happened to my face, I would gladly return these scars to the one who did it. With what happened when I was chased out of the city, that's barely anything. But what happened in my home village, no. That is something that for the one who did it, I dream of his blood rain. For that is all he deserved. To be locked in the same cage I was. Trapped. But not anything else he did. That is something no one should feel.
Arletto nodded slowly. That is something I can respect, he said quietly, and then seemed to shake himself a little. Thank you for answering the question as best as you feel able.
I'm not one much for talking. But I feel a strange sense of trust when it comes to you and those two. The fancy one there, and he kind of looks to the Duchess. Seems like she's going to run me through at any second. And as for her companion, looks to the sleeping drow. It's me and I have no clue why. I can make my assumptions, but I can tell his eyes are always following me. And I can't tell if that's because he finds me attractive or if he hates me. I'm going to go with the he hates me. And that one feels a bit more of a comfortable topic. He's not my type.
Arletto chuckles for a few seconds, and then nods and looks between them and says, I do not know what to make of the drow and the other elf. He paused for a second. The others, I do trust. I trust them in a fight, at least. I do not know how much I trust them individually, but I'm a hard man to. I struggle to really trust people, so that is more an indictment of my own personal struggles than anything they have done.
In my opinion, that one's too stupid to betray us, and if he does, it'll be on accident. And as for her, she's too nice. She's very sweet and smells like flowers. Got a like a. He's got his mask up. He had he had pulled his mask down to kind of like show you the scars, and you can see like the faintest blush on his cheeks.
Arletto half smiles and then says, I will take your word for it, and I will trust them. The other two, we will have to see what happens with them, but I will trust the tieflings.
Yes. 4 owls and 2 tieflings walk into a bar. He's just gonna roll back over and look back out of the forest.
Arletto looks back out the forest as well and continues the watch.
When it comes time to end our watch, he'll grab another pine cone, toss it a couple times, chuck it right at Tenacity's head. We'll probably hear a dong sound, given how hollow it is.
What? Ow.
Your turn.
Did you have to throw it so hard?
That was a light throw. I thought you had a harder hit.
Well, just remember that it echoes in there, so the pain is even worse on the inside.
Hey, at least he admits it.
Yeah.
Let
Here I thought
hope.
it was so full of rocks.
Oh.
And here I thought it was so full of rocks it would just make them rattle.
No, like a whistle in the wind.
So you can feel the air going between your ears.
Yeah, it is just it's a strange feeling, but you know when I have a severe itch in my ears, the wind kind of itches it for me or scratches it for me. There's perks.
Oh. Nothing happened during the watch. Just some weird whispers. Don't listen to them. And make sure your sister. They're off.
As much as I can watch her.
He just kind of rolls over and decides to take his 4 hours of sleep.
Raya, please don't wander off.
Wander
Me
off. Wander off.
never.
Wander off. Wander off.
Tenacity is gonna, before he starts his watch, Tenacity is gonna go over to Temperance, and like the most annoying brotherly thing that he can do, he's going to gently tap on her eyelids and like wiggle the top of her nose. And if that doesn't work, he's going to in tandem tap her eyelids.
Oh, you're not going to pull the wet willy?
No,
I thought you were gonna go Wet Willie.
not this time.
Same. Not this time, he says.
He's gonna get to the tandem tapping, and I'm just gonna backhand him. Like, what? Oh,
It's our turn.
hello.
Ah!
Okay. Okay.
Oh!
I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake.
Okay. And for sure, Temperance would hear as Tenacity is walking away. Temperance would for sure hear him chuckle under his breath.
And you also have to take 3 points of damage because that's an unarmed strike.
Nice.
I say again.
Oh, should he take damage from the pine cone too?
1 point.
I can deal with 1 point. While the strike wasn't hard enough, the reverberation through his cranium was.
Exactly. It's 1 point of psychic damage.
Mhm.
All right, so I need one of y'all to roll a d20 for me.
Roll low. Roll low. 11.
11. Did you do it at advantage?
No, he just said a D20.
It's not a check or anything. It's just a flat d20 roll.
Oh, okay.
We're rolling on a table.
Good thing.
I need one of you to roll a d12.
You
got
can
it.
roll that. Roll bad.
I
Again.
don't know which way is bad.
Bubba, I already told you which one I wanted one of y'all to get last time you were on this table.
Okay. Ooh. Was this the one?
What is it?
11.
No, but it works.
Oh no.
Cool. Cool.
Ah,
I love it. I love it.
This one is the Dream Eater. A shadowy, nightmarish creature, the Dream Eater, slithers from the shadows and attempts to steal the dreams of the sleeping members of the party. So those of you who are asleep, I need a wisdom save.
I do have a clarification question, DM. Are you considering the
Trancing
elfish?
counts.
Okay, because all four of us are trancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trancing counts.
Oh boy.
So let's take a shout out moment that the siblings both rolled 11s.
Twinsies, as they are.
Well, we were supposed to be.
I
but-
rolled a 9.
I rolled a 6.
Arletto actually rolled good at a 17.
And I need one for Rowena as well.
Okay, so you need separate ones for both of them. Got it.
Yep. So Arletto, you're the only one that saved. So, in y'all's various trances, Rowena included, you guys, except for Arletto, all start having the absolute worst nightmare of your lives, reliving the worst moments of your lives. Like it is actually happening over again.
Should I make a roll table for which nightmare it should be?
I'll let you choose which one it is.
Oh, either way, should I make that save?
For this case, no.
Okay.
For in this case, no. I'm gonna be nice. We don't need
GM
none
said
of that
it's been
again right
enough
now.
already.
Yeah, no. Thank you for being nice. Thank you for being nice.
We don't need Volpez asleep for that. No.
No.
No. And when you guys wake up in the morning, you will have a point of exhaustion
Ooh.
Oof.
because of the intensity of the nightmare.
So, sister, other than getting
Yep.
pelted in the head, I had a wonderful dream.
That's
about you?
pretty good.
No?
Just for that, you're getting pelted in the head again. You now have a grumpy Volpez. This is not an achievement you wanted to unlock.
Oh no, this is while y'all are asleep. You don't know nothing.
Yee.
Hmm.
Mwah.
You mean it was
You
good
escape
sleep?
with it this time, Gadget.
I don't know that I had dreams yet. It's been a long couple days.
It has. Oh, have I got some news for you? So
Yeah.
I don't remember if I have talked about these sort or not, but I, as part of my powers that I have been given, I can feel things, weird things, like good, good versus bad. And while while we were in that horrible maze, although those flowers were very pretty.
I really liked that room.
That,
Why couldn't we stay there?
you know, maybe if we have another room that has flowers in a not so spooky place, I will advocate for us to stay there, but that was not good place.
It's a room.
The room was lovely. But when we were in the room with the doors, I used my powers to enhance my feelings, and I got the weird feeling, and he points to Bloodworth and to Volpez. I got the weird feeling from these two. It did not frighten me in a way, but it was something that I wanted to talk to at least somebody about, and while I trust everyone in battle, I mean, you're my sister.
Oh, if I trust that one, and she's pointing at Bloodworth, he
Hmm.
seems to, like, move away and cower a lot. Like, I'm a little concerned. Like, did you see him hiding behind the girl? He was just, like, hiding behind her in that room. And also, she looked really afraid of him when we were in that room with the doors. When everyone, like, freaked out.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was weird.
DM, for clarification, was I able to delineate what I was feeling with these two?
Not specifically, just that they were making your evil spidey senses go crazy.
Okay, so nothing with undead or fey or fiendish.
Let
just being-
let me look up crap, what is that called?
Divine
divine
sense.
sense.
Yes.
I can look it up for you.
2,
You
3.
detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the hollow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend undead. So not fey, but celestial fiend or undead.
So yeah, Bloodworth and I would probably have registered.
Yeah, you know the type. So, which I and you both would register as fiend, would you not?
Yeah.
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 Hmm. Yeah, they both felt I don't want to say devilish or demonic, but definitely fiendish. I did not get a specific feeling like that, but I was able to sense fiendish in nature between these two.
She's just gonna kind of gesture to the both of them and say, "I'm not sure that bothers me that much."
That is why I'm a little concerned, because it doesn't bother me.
Good to keep an eye on though. Do you remember when we were very little, before we started moving, and Mother and father used to keep those treats on them to keep us with them in the market.
I remember vaguely that they used to use them to keep your attention, if memory serves. Why do you ask?
What was happening to me again in the labyrinth? I'm not sure I liked it. But they taste really yummy.
Have you told? I presume you're talking about Volpes, yes? Or hasn't given you a treat.
No, I did offer him one. Kind of weird that he didn't want any candy.
Some
Who
people
doesn't
don't like
candy?
fruit. Some people
I
don't.
don't get it.
If I remember correctly, Lysithia likes fruit, not candy. So I mean, she likes something sweet, but you know.
Do you remember that time I poured all the sugar in her strawberries? And then told her that you did it?
I remember getting mildly scorned from it. Thank you for that.
I thought they tasted better that way.
True, I think so as well, but you know, she only likes fruit. She likes natural sugar, not stuff you make in factory.
Well, at least she doesn't only snack on veggies, because then I would say she was weird.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I snack on veggie, but
I
I also
know, you
snack
are
on
very
other things.
weird.
Listen, that is not very nice.
How long do you think we'll be in this creepy place?
I don't know.
Don't like
On a
it.
very serious note, I don't feel good about this place. It is. I don't know if you've been getting this feeling lately, but since we got here, I felt like something. I wouldn't necessarily say my soul, but that definitely an in between soul and my heart. Feels like there is hole being dug slowly, but every time I try to reflect inward, all I see is a growing hole filled with dark. I don't like it.
It's very pleasant. That sounds unpleasant.
It is very uncomfortable, like almost when you get a splinter in your skin and it is just deep enough that you have to really dig to get it out. It feels like that.
I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
I don't know that I feel that. I am
I
glad
don't
that we were with a group of people, though, because it makes me think about my room. And I don't want to go back there again.
I know I haven't told you this yet, although my memory is usually very short term. But I don't know if I've told you this yet. But he doesn't really say what exactly, but you probably can get the feeling what he's trying to say. I am. I'm sorry that you felt so alone for so long.
Talk about it.
I know.
And then she's just gonna start writing in her journal.
Tenacity will think about what he's said so far, and when he reflects or tries to from a third person view, you would see that hole that he described growing slightly bigger.
When our watch comes to an end, she's gonna perk up a little bit, and she's gonna say, "Can I wake the others for the third watch?"
Sure. I'll sit back
She's
and watch.
she's gonna hurry over to Bloodworth and start tapping his
No.
nose with her pen.
Oh no.
Wake up! It's time for your watch. Wake up!
I'm waiting for the scream.
Bloodworth will not scream when he wakes up, but he will instinctively try and punch whatever's in front of him. So essentially, as soon as he wakes up, he instinctively takes a swing straight out in front of him.
Neither.
Like the GM
Have
picks.
you? Can either have you rolled a hit or have actually can do both. I need you to roll the hit, but I also I'll need Temperance to do a dex save.
Okay, for roll to hit, what would I do with that?
That would be your unarmed strike. So let me pull up your sheet. Nope, that's the memory tracker, not your sheet.
DM. I am
Yeah.
sure that tenacity is not fast enough to intercede in this moment, but if connection does happen, I would like to have tenacity try and interpose himself between Bloodworth and his sister. Trident out.
Oh,
You figured it out, Torsten. And then just click
all
the
I
unarmed strike.
Woot woot.
So
And it did
Temperance does
Rowena.
that
But-
that was Rowena's.
But yeah,
We'll use
Oh,
it
I
as
don't- yeah.
we'll use it as Bloodworth.
as if she expects people to swing when they wake up.
Temperance, you just barely dodge out of the way. You see it. You see you expect him to swing when you wake him up, just from the way you wake people up. And as he swings, you just almost Neo Matrix back out of the way, and the swing just goes right in front of your face.
So that's when I wake up too. It's okay. But it's your watch.
All right.
She's just gonna start backing back towards her bedroll.
Just to be on the safe
Are-
side, so that he doesn't start coming after her.
Are you doing your watch on your own, or are you waking Rowena?
Wake and Rowena. Both of them
All
will be
right.
awake for
All right, so I will need one of them. I'll let you decide since it's you. To
Yeah.
give me give me a D20. Just
Straight
a flat
D20?
D20. Yep, no modifier.
All right. There it is. 9.
All right, one of y'all to give me a roll on a D12. All the events tonight.
12.
Boy.
All right, so
Roll 12 on that
while Bloodworth and Rowena are on their watch, a strange blight begins to take root near the camp. A creeping black moss that seems to move on its own, spreading across the trees and the ground. What do you do?
You said a strange blight is
Is
across the trees and
Yeah, and it looks like it's starting to spread towards the camp. And it has the appearance of a creeping black moss.
Can I see if there's any essentially any malice intent with it, or if it's like dangerous? Or perception check on seeing if it's dangerous.
I'm making an investigation. Which one of them is looking?
Investigation. It's that Bloodworth.
All right.
Got it.
Ah!
This
From
moss
what
looks like it
Bloodworth-
tastes like licorice.
Pretty much from what Bloodworth can tell, this is just a black moss that wasn't noticed. That seems to grow at night.
Okay, if that's all he perceives, he's just gonna let it be and just continue to watch it.
So as your watch draws on, you see the moss continually grow into camp and eventually make contact with the rest of the sleeping/trancing party. And as each little tendril makes contact with each person, you see those tendrils seem to grow stronger and grow faster.
Okay, now it looks like it's something bad.
All right, what do you do?
Give me one sec. See if I've got anything that he could potentially stop it. Ooh.
I would allow one of your spells. I would allow one of your spells to do it.
One of them?
Yeah. Looking at the spells you have, I would count it.
Which one? Because
I'm
thinking moss.
That's for you to figure out.
1 second here. Oh, excuse me. Not it.
I'm just watching you click through your spells.
Reading through them to see which one would actually work.
Mm-hmm.
That one could potentially work. The only one I'm seeing that might actually work against the moss would be Arms of Hadar, because the rest of them all specifically say target creature. And I don't really think this moss is a creature, is it?
You don't know.
Mhm.
But you gotta hurry.
Okay, instead of using a spell, how about this? I don't have any fire spells.
Fuck.
Yeah. Uh. Okay. So I was thinking you'd allow me to use Eldritch Blast, but I wasn't sure
You
if it was
don't.
target creature.
That was
No
supposed to
space.
be whispered.
No space. That was supposed to be whispered. I forgot that there's no space after the W.
Nicely done.
I just realized figured out how to whisper on here. So that is a DM goof. I won't count that as metagaming. That was a DM goof.
Mhm.
All right. I'd cast Eldritch Blast then.
All right. How many beams?
We're at 4th level, so I
Whatever it
think
is.
4th level is only 1.
Depends on what level of spell I'm able to cast at.
It is a
Eldritch Blast
cantrip.
is
It's a
a
cantrip.
cantrip.
Yes. So
And
it's not an upcast thing. It's just at your
Yep.
character's level.
So with
It's still
Roll20,
one beam until next level.
yeah, if you look under the like in Roll20, if you look under where he has the numbers and the 120 feet, the Eldritch Blast, you'll see show spell description. Just click on that. And I can't do it. There you go.
Yeah.
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 There you go.
I only get 2 when yeah.
5th level. So next level you'll get 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just one beam right now. Does a 24 hit?
Mhm.
I mean, yes, it does. There's no and yes, it does. Why does it have a spell save DC on the description when it's a roll to hit?
Oh, it just does that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It shows my spell save DC.
Okay.
Yeah, it just does that.
All right. So you hit. Which one are you going after first? Because there's a tendril essentially
Each of 'em.
attached to the other 4 members.
I'll do Volpez first, just because I know he's strongest. From
All
my
right.
opinion, from Bloodworth's opinion.
All right. So you hit that tendril and it detaches and like recedes back like 15 feet.
Okay.
I won't make you roll to hit the rest of them. But just tell me the order.
Volpez, Arletto, Temperance, and then Tenacity.
All right. So you send a blast towards each one of the tendrils in that order. And as you hit each tendril with the blast, it detaches and just recedes back 15, 20 feet from them. And it doesn't appear to be growing back in after that.
Okay. I almost
Is there anything else that Bloodworth or Rowena would do during their watch?
Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself.
Go play with yourself.
I'm not on
Do
that
what the
level
DM
yet.
does.
I'm almost there, just not quite yet.
It'll give your budding DM brain a chance to practice.
I'd rather not do that in front of a live audience.
He'd rather not do that in front of the live studio audience.
I would like to suggest homework to him to practice it in the car with you.
On the way to work every day.
Mhm.
The rest of my DMs in here, which would be everybody else, understand we talk to ourselves all the time.
Oh, yeah. We even have full-on arguments, love stories, all sorts of things. When you're the DM, you better be good at talking to yourself.
Yep.
I talk to myself in my head, but it's never been out loud.
I'm looking at you, Bubba, making Alton and Geyer almost talk to each other. Two completely different personalities.
All right.
Would have been funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so after the moss, though, can I do a perception check to see if it was just the forest itself or controlled by a being out there?
Don't want it to be perception.
Would that be another investigation check?
Investigation or insight?
All right, give me 1 sec. I would do an insight check. That's better for me.
No, you don't.
That's not what I wanted.
No, you don't.
Ignore that.
I don't do an insight check.
No, you don't. Not with that roll,
Nope,
you don't.
I don't do an insight check. I stare off into the forest and see darkness.
Yeah.
Hello,
You
darkness,
see
my
this
old
moss.
friend.
You just see this black moss that started to encroach onto the camp, just leading out into the forest, climbing up some of the trees.
Yep, and my superior dark vision doesn't see shit except for the trees and the moss.
Yep.
Those are some nice trees.
That
Some
that
Aspen
branch
over
is,
there. There's a pine over there.
and even the
That's a nice
pines,
old.
even the pines are surprisingly naked for being evergreen. Not a needle on them.
I've been druid crafting pine cones this entire time. That's where they come
Yeah.
from.
Yep.
I
Hey,
was
look, that's a
wondering.
nice boulder.
All right. So
Bubba rubbing the back of his head.
after all of that, the rest of the party starts waking up as the sun's coming up, and the sun in Shadowfell, because I don't think I've ever described it to you, is a deep blood red. It gives off a deep blood red light. So the
Like-
sunrises
like
and
the regular-
sunsets are vivid reds and oranges and purples. You guys wake up and you see this black moss about 20 that started creep. You see this black moss that wasn't there when y'all went to bed, about 20 feet from where y'all were sleeping. What do you do? How do you continue this on this next day?
Well, because of the Dream Eater, you guys have unlocked Grumpy Volpez. And a reminder that since we elves have a level of exhaustion, that means we have disadvantage on ability checks.
Yep.
Never have I know who has passed both of those saves.
Except for Arletto. Fancy wizard boy.
My problem wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys do? How are you guys waking up, dealing with Grumpy Volpez? What's Grumpy Volpez like?
Grumpy Volpez he's just keeps on like seeming like he's about to nod off again. Like he's doing one of those where he's just like head goes forward a little bit, closing his eye, head goes a little forward a bit, and he shakes his head. But then you just hear this low growl of annoyance.
Oh boy. All y'all elves having that level of exhaustion is going to make the rest of this entire session very, very interesting.
Excellent.
Oh
That's not a
boy.
I'm just gonna go ahead and blame tenacity.
What?
Oh boy.
You're the one that rolled it.
All right.
Me, never.
So seeing these vines that were not here when I fell asleep, I'm gonna gather all my stuff and kind of like go a little closer to my brother. I don't remember that when we went to bed.
No, neither
I
do
don't think it's moving, but I don't like it.
No.
What?
Okay.
What? What?
That is that is Torsten's text tone for me.
Was that
And that is why
Alistair? Was that Alistair saying?
aha, fuck you. Yep. From when him and Lucifer were going back and forth.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love it. I approve.
Anyway,
Okay. Vulpes. Do you want me to carry you? You look a little more sleepier than usual.
Bad dreams.
Still didn't answer my question.
Not touching, please. Not after those dreams.
Oh.
I know what dreams you chose.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
You
what?
said to go with the worst.
That like honestly, that's what I had in mind for that Volpez was going to have nightmares about. But I also gave you the choice.
Well, it was between that and the one that happened just before it.
Yeah. Either way, no touchy.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Anyway,
noted. I appreciate that. But unfortunately, we are compatriots, and this goes for all of you. You have my hand if you need it.
Noted.
Arletto grabs his pack from the tree and jumps down, and as he jumps down, he seems to stumble a little bit, and then he shakes himself and grumbles something about size. You had your hand up, Torsten?
You said that Tenacity basically said he's offering his hand to everybody, right?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Yes, yes, he did.
Bloodworth ends
Oh
up shooting
no.
you a curious look at your comment about giving a hand to anybody.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Just leaving it at the look?
What are you staring at, Bloodworth?
Does that hand mean for anything in particular?
I'm out. I don't want to listen to this. I'm just gonna walk away.
I don't know
No,
whether or not I ship it, but if I do, Tenacity's on top.
You know, usually I ask people to take me out to dinner first before doing such
That's a
things.
lie. He doesn't do that.
You hear as Temperance is just walking away, trying to make her way back to the path.
Yeah, Lopez is going with her, like, nope, I'm not a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this. I want nothing to do with this. I'm going this way.
Arletto is
Rowena
doing the same.
ends up following you two as well.
So all four of us just walk toward the path away.
We're just leaving those two there with whatever is about to happen there, and we're going.
Now continue.
He'll
Exactly.
Tenacity will cross his arms and kind of put one disapproving leg out in front of the other and start tapping his foot furiously and say, what would he say? Because he's kind of pissed off about Bloodworth taking a swing at Temperance.
Frenemies to lovers.
I definitely ship it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about harming other people, but you ever take a swing at my sister again, you won't have a hand to swing with anymore. And he will just grab at his trident and then go back to folding his arms.
And Bloodworth will respond with, the swing was just reflex from being awakened from sleep. It won't happen again. But can you say you've never been with a drow?
Wouldn't you like to know? And he will turn and start looking for his sister, making sure that she hasn't ran off somewhere.
It's like the doctor with his companions. Rule 1, the doctor lies. Rule 2, don't wander off. So, y'all wind up finding your way back to the path, figure out which way it came from and whatnot, and start continuing on. And after a couple hours, the path narrows, swallowed by gnarled trees and moss-choked roots. Every step forward feels like sinking, not into mud, but memory. Then the forest parts, suddenly, unnaturally, like it's exhaling you into somewhere older. Before you lies a shaded crossing, half swallowed by the groaning forest, and before you also lies a dried, cracked riverbed. Its edges crusted with salt and bone dust. And spanning the riverbed are black stone arches, crooked and crumbling, draped in fungal moss like robes on forgotten statues. The air is thick with the scent of petrichor and something older, like regret. From the skeletal trees above, ghost lanterns sway. Their light isn't warm. It flickers like a bad memory. Faces surface in them, familiar yet fleeting, before disappearing in the wind. Their pale fire casts trembling reflections over the ground, as if the earth was trying to remember. And in that wind, footsteps, like the echo of something that happened long ago, or something that has not yet come to pass. As if someone's circling you, watching. Yet there is no one, not yet. The air feels thick, pregnant with memory, as if the fabric between then and now is paper thin, stretched to the point of tearing. This place isn't merely abandoned. It is waiting, and it's waiting for you. All right, come on, catch up.
Let me go grab the spy count, make sure it's okay. There we go. What is going on? Can you guys hear me?
Pausing for technical difficulties. Yes, we can
There
hear
we
you.
go.
Hear you.
There we go.
Okay, that was weird. My entire computer just froze for a second. No one was moving on Discord, nothing was moving on stream. Everything was moving when I was doing stuff, but everything else had frozen for a second. Okay.
It happens.
There we go. Everything seems to be working again.
And that is what you see as you guys are walking up this path.
No, don't that look friendly?
Not at all. Tenacity will sidle up next to Temperance and just give her a reassuring touch on the shoulder as we walk through.
Let me zoom in. As you guys, hey, let's get on the right layer, Isaac. As you guys start walking up, you see a man standing under the first arch, as if he had always been there, or what's left of a man. The hollow pilgrim is draped in rotten remains of priestly garb, the color bleached from him by centuries. His face is little more than a skull wrapped in thin, leathery flesh. His eyes are pits, yet they shimmer with a profound sorrow that could drown you. He speaks in a kind and broken voice, offering riddles, names, warnings, but nothing comes for free. You get the feeling that to pass unchallenged, you must give him unchallenged. You must give him something real, something precious, a memory you, a memory you cherish, a promise you cannot break, or maybe a treasured possession. Should you refuse, though, his hands, brittle as old bark, would summon something, summon spirits of oath breakers who tried to cross without paying the toll. As you continue walking up, he stands impossibly still. He speaks, saying, "Hail, travelers, or mourners. Here the river of time runs dry. Here even the dead forget the way home." His hollow eyes flicker towards each of you, measuring something unseen. The crossing does not welcome the unburdened. The road ahead is lined with thorns and sorrow sharp enough to cut even gods. He steps forward, the brittle crunch of ancient fabric and bone audible in the hush. As he continues to speak, his voice becomes more and more echoey, like it's echoing through time itself. To pass, you must offer a tether from your soul, a memory you cherish, a promise you cannot break, or a relic your heart once called home. He lowers his voice, almost conspiratorial, and yet almost mournful. Choose with care, for what you give will be kept, not lost. No, nothing is ever truly lost here, simply worn by the dark. A cold wind stirs the ghost lanterns overhead. The hollow pilgrim tilts his head, waiting. Will you pay the toll, or will you be weighed by the shades?
So, translation, we have to give up a precious memory.
A precious memory, a an item of deep personal meaning, or a promise that you made to someone dear to you. Either way, it has to be something with deep, deep personal meaning. I told you all this session would test you.
Tenacity would step forward and say, "I will pay my toll if that means that we can cross."
And what do you give? And as you're standing close to him, you see what's left of the flesh on his face. Seems to be like 25% Shiloh, 25% Brahm. I need your character sheets, dadgummit. And remind me of your lady love's name.
Lysithia.
Lysithia. 25% Lysithia and 25% just a tired, weary traveler. And it seems to be like all four of those melded together.
He will look back and his thoughts kind of go towards his parents and then his sister. And he will say, I have an anger that I have held on to towards someone that is very close to me. And it came as a result that it came as a result of something tragic that happened to the both of us. And I would like to. You say that these things that we pay as toll are kept, not forgotten, yes.
They will be kept by the forest.
Then I give my anger as toll to cross.
All right. So as you are talking, towards the end of your offering, he extends a desiccated hand, looking impossibly light, yet impossibly heavy. And you feel the specific memory tied to the anger tear loose from you. And it doesn't tear cleanly. Almost like pulling ivy from stone. You don't forget it, not exactly, but the edges of the memory go soft. Colors fade. The emotion, once sharp and vivid, becomes hollow, distant, like a song half remembered from a dream you once cherished, but you can never hum it again.
As he's been talking to this toll collector, he has been facing, except for the one time that he looked back, he's been facing um, towards the toll collector. When that memory or specific string of memories, no one really knows, is pulled from him, you all see him drop to his knees and go slack.
How does everybody react to that?
Arledo moves forward and reaches for his neck, trying to feel a pulse to see if he just up and died.
And Temperance is just going to address the figure. What did you do to him?
I simply took what he offered. He is not dead. He is not unconscious. He is not asleep.
Gonna kneel down next to him and like hold his face. Are you okay?
He he doesn't respond verbally, but you can see a tear rolling down his face as his eyes are blank and disassociated.
It's okay. You're gonna be okay. And she's just gonna stay with him for a minute.
So mechanically right now, and Bubba, I whispered this to you on roll 20.
Okay.
From giving the memory, Tenacity is now suffering from short-term emotional exhaustion. It is a temporary state of emotional depletion resulting from overwhelming sorrow, traumatic memory, or psionic assault. He currently has these 4 effects. Disadvantage on insight and perception checks from his mind being clouded, his attention fraying, thus missing subtle details or intentions. He has disadvantage on charisma-based ability check due to being emotionally withdrawn or volatile, thus being less able to influence or connect with others. -2 on initiative rolls because he hesitates or is haunted or distracted, acting just a moment too late, and disadvantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. Your emotional guard is down, making you more vulnerable to manipulation or fear. This lasts for 1 hour or until a short rest is completed.
You did not whisper that.
Yeah.
It started
Well,
out a
it was-
whisper. Okay. So the first line of it was whispered, and I guess because it was so long, the rest of it didn't whisper.
Mhm.
I didn't know it would do that. So
Note taker is happy.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I
mean-
literally copied and pasted over here.
it helps for the note takers.
Yeah.
It was on purpose.
because you're
Yeah.
describing
roll
it.
20.
Oh, go ahead.
Roll 20 knew that the note takers would want that word for word.
Yes.
Because you were describing it, I didn't mention it. If you hadn't started describing the effects, I would have let you know.
Yeah, no. I was going to describe them above board anyway. All right, so
I am so glad that our brains were on the same page with this.
who's
Mine and yours.
every yeah.
I'm trying to think of
So
even what Volpez would give up.
who approaches next?
Bloodworth will.
And what do you
Bloodworth will.
drow? What do you drow offer?
The memory of the home where I was born and raised.
All y'all giving your memories up.
The brothel.
I like it. So, same thing. He extends his hand, and as you describe the memory, as you describe the brothel where you grew up, you feel that memory tear loose. You don't fully forget, but the edges go soft. Colors of the memory fade to almost like what could be equated to an old photograph or an old film. The emotion become behind it, tied to it, becomes hollow and distant.
All right. As
And
that happens, it looks like Bloodworth shimmers in a way, as if two different people are standing in that same spot.
you get the same mechanic. You now have short-term emotional exhaustion for 1 hour. Only one more is required.
Arletto goes to stand up. He stands up for Pentanasti and he goes to step forward. As he does so, you see his right hand, his right wrist flick down and grasp the handle of the dagger that is there, the dagger that he has not drawn. He pauses as he holds the dagger and he stares at the man and he stares back at the dagger. And he just pauses. He doesn't move forward. He doesn't offer it yet. He pauses and he stares, his eyes flicking between the dagger and the old man standing under the archway. And he does not appear to be breathing as he grasps the handle of the dagger. He is stone still as he stares, his eyes flicking slowly between them. And he does not appear to be breathing. He does not say a word.
The Hollow Pilgrim looks at you and says, "You seem hesitant on offering something. What do you bring me?"
Arletto twists the dagger and he draws it and he holds it up and he stares at it. still dead silent. And I'm actually gonna make a couple rolls for him.
Go for it.
Let's see. That is going to be... Yeah, okay. I'm rolling these with physical dice.
Fair.
That is a natural 20 on the charisma save. Well then, the charisma save was supposed to be the low one. Okay. And we'll see if I roll higher on the intelligence save or not. I was going to not give up the dagger, but if I roll higher on the intelligence save, I will. And that's a off-table roll. And that is a 16. Okay. I spent so long overing this weapon. He is going to step forward after a solid 10-15 seconds of not saying a word, not even breathing, not moving. He is going to step forward and he is going to say, I bring you this dagger, this knife. He pauses and then he continues slowly, methodically. This knife that was used to take a life that should never have touched. And he's going to reach out and he's going to open his palm.
Again, the hollow pilgrim extends his desiccated hand. And just like before with the other two, as you give your offering, you feel it tear loose from you. The emotion and memory tied to it going soft and hollow and distant. Gotta scroll down, gotta scroll down. Too far. And as he grabs it out of your hand and holds it in his palm, the object vanishes, the dagger vanishes into mist, becoming woven into the roots of the forest. It cannot be recovered, but the feeling from it echoes in the ruins.
Arletto screams. That is the best word I have to describe it. As it rips from him and as the dagger vanishes, he just lets out a single cry of anger. Not necessarily of pain, but of anger. And he's still standing, but all rigidity goes out of his body. He just stands there after the cry ends, staring into the mist.
Before the hollow pilgrim lets you pass, he offers one little nugget. Shiloh walks the edge of never, but the bird who bore him knows regret. Beneath the weeping arch, it waits, guarding what should have stayed buried. Then, without sound, he folds into the fog and is gone. For my note takers, do you need that copy and pasted to you?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
There is a typo that I noticed while I was reading it, so let me fix that real quick. But how do you guys proceed?
Question for you, Master DM.
And answer for you.
You said that when Tenacity was looking at this man, he saw Brahm's face, Shiloh's face, and partially a past lover's face.
Yes.
What did we see when we looked at him?
I didn't specify because I don't. Mm. So it's Tenacity, Arledo, and Volpez.
Well, Bloodworth also looked at him. We were all watching him.
Yep.
I was staring at my brother. Technically.
So everyone watching him would see the merger of Shiloh, Brahm, and a weary traveler. But each of you would also see someone near and dear to you. So, Temperance, you would have seen a bit of your mother. Arledo, you would have seen. Oh, I don't remember the love that dagger was tied to.
Ella Visrain.
Huh?
Ella Visrain is the name.
Thank you. You see a bit of Ella in that. Bloodworth, you would have seen a bit of Rowena. Rowena would have seen a bit of her father. Oh, and Volpez. This whole time I've been trying to decide who you see.
He probably would see his mother.
That's who I was leaning towards.
Yeah, he
And
probably.
Volpez, you see a flash of your mother. But each one of you does not see what the other that personal connection that the other sees. You see your own personal connection within him. I told you I would test that this session would test y'all.
Oh yeah.
Just not the way you were thinking.
I was not intending for Arletto to give up that dagger, but in the heat of the moment, I decided I'd roll a charisma save versus an intelligence save, expecting the intelligence save to win because it's 6 higher than the charisma save, and then I rolled a nat 20 on the charisma save.
All right.
I cannot believe I just did that.
So you guys, through all that, start continuing on the path. Get to the to the second archway. This is the heart of the crossing. And this is also the oldest arch. Black stone veined with silver wrought as if struck by something divine and terrible. Inscribed upon the keystone is a single symbol, a feather made of living shadow. It moves even when the air does not, shifting shape like smoke in reverse, reforming with each heartbeat. When you blink, it's still, but something behind your eyes remembers it moving. The air grows colder as you near the arch. No birds, no breeze, only that terrible, quiet feeling, like a door has opened inside your chest, and something is waiting for you to step through. The feather, carved in shadow and ember, pulses once. Your eyes sting, your breath catches, then a whisper, not with sound, but memory. You are seen. For this above table, I only need one of you.
Temperance is gonna walk up to it.
So, Temperance walks up, looks at this feather, reaches out a hand and touches it. When she touches it, she feels a sudden surge, her magic being stoked, burning brighter for a moment, but not without a cost. Immediately, and you have not expended any spell slots, correct?
Not a single one yet.
So you gain an extra spell slot of the highest level that you can cast. I also need a Constitution saving throw.
There it is.
Constitution 14.
Yeah, you were so close.
Oh, I have inspiration!
Go for it. If you want to.
$15.
One. Ow, that's sharp. Two. Three. Four. Why couldn't I
this is
roll
gonna hurt.
lower? 10. You take, I had to do math and my brain didn't want to math it. You take 8 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And a faint feather-shaped scar burns briefly into your forehead before fading. Though some may still see it when you cast spells near shadows.
That was so bad.
Now, I only needed one. Does anybody else want to take a look at it or anything?
Normally, Arletto would. After that, he's not doing anything. He's just standing there.
Yeah,
I'll have
Volpe
Bloodworth give it a
is.
All right. And I saw your message, Arletto. I'll answer
Yeah, that's
once
fine.
we're done.
That's fine. I just wanted a clarifying question because that is an important clarification.
Yep. Nope. I have it up so I don't forget. I have it up on my phone so I don't forget. But I'll reply after we're done. So, Bloodworth, you walk up and reach out your hand and touch this carved feather, this living carving. And your vision is wrenched away, like being yanked violently into someone else's memory. You see Brahm, that older dwarf that you saw back at the sawmill, standing in a forest far older and deeper than this one. His eyes are red rimmed, his jaw clenched in defiance or despair. It's hard to tell. Before him stands a figure cloaked in black briars and bleeding thorns. Not the Raven Queen herself, but someone who serves her, or perhaps once was her. Brahm is offering something, a soul, a name, a memory. It's not clear, but the air reacts and you feel it viscerally. The price is steep and the deal is struck. The moment fades, the memory fades, but a part of you still hears the echo. He will not remember unless you do. And you are re- returned to your body, essentially.
Okay.
Again, for the note takers, here you go.
That all that happens?
That is all.
That was a strange feeling.
Is he thinking that or saying it out loud?
He's saying that out loud.
What do the rest of you do?
Move forward. Volpe
It's-
just moves forward.
It's a very strange art. And I'm gonna keep moving forward.
Sister, can I use you for support? I'm still feeling a little dazed.
Sure.
And he'll just kind of like. He's trying to decide whether to like fully put half of his weight on you or just to like have you as a brace just in case he buckles.
A balance point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's
So-
move.
Arletto,
You guys can go ahead.
Arletto is walking along behind them and a little bit apart from them, kind of just mechanically walking. He's holding his other dagger, the one that he's been using this entire time, in his right hand and staring at it as he walks, not even watching the road ahead of him, just moving.
As you guys get to the last arch, you see in the center of the archway stands a door. Massive, round, carved with coils and runes. One side shimmers faintly, almost inviting. The other is darker, rimmed in deep carvings that pulse like veins. And just below it, etched in a script both ancient and heartbreakingly familiar, you read, "One path grants passage through shadow, the other offers a mirror and a price." A low voiced, soft and papery, rises from the stillness. "Only one of you may open what cannot be opened alone." No source, just a voice. Something waits behind these doors. Not just danger, not just reward. Reflection, confrontation, change. So, what do you guys do?
Volpe steps forward.
And it is two sides of the same door.
Volpe is just. He's been silent. He's always been silent, but not like this. He would at least make a small sound to indicate listening to someone when they speak. But the entire mood is sullen for everyone, and for him, it's been so long since he's seen his mother's face to see it for a singular moment. And to see that they have already sacrificed. He knows it's his turn. He doesn't know what he'll have to give up. But he knows it's his turn. He walks towards the door and opens it.
Tenacity.
Which side? The darker side?
I don't see a door.
I didn't throw it in on the map. It's just because trying to figure that out would be a little difficult.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what it.
So one side of the door
Mhm.
shimmers very faintly, almost inviting, and the other side is darker and rimmed in deep carvings that pulse like veins.
And
The darker side.
Is the door? Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Is the door just freestanding in the middle of the archway, nothing surrounding it, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Tenacity as Volpez walks up to one of the sides. He would say, "If it is your turn, it is your turn. But let one of us share the pain with you if you allow it."
Volpe will look back and just shake his head as he steps through the door.
All right. Gonna hit pause real quick for a check-in. How is everyone doing right now?
I'm good.
A bounce.
Yeah. I'm fine. I mean, Dry and I have done RPs like this before, so we know. But
Oh, I know. I've witnessed a couple of them, but I still wanted to check in.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Still wanted to check in with everyone.
I'm fine, just a little bit in shock because I was not intending to do that.
Sometimes the things that we don't intend to do end up being the best plot hooks.
Yeah, that was
yes. That was an amazing choice. All right, because I figured that this session would probably get a little heavy at times, if not the majority of the time. So, I care about y'all.
Yeah. Do your table check-ins, peeps.
Always.
important. Always important.
Mhm.
You got to do your table check-ins, especially with heavy emotional RP.
And I would
right.
suggest not just for our table, but for any table, when you do a heavy scene like this, do some self-care with your peeps.
Oh,
Just a
always.
little bit.
Completely. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Aftercare is important in any context.
Mhm.
Exactly. So let's take a quick 10. All right. Get some water, nature break, all of that fun jazz.
I will throw us onto an intermission screen on the stream. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't actually have that set up. That's something I forgot to do, but I can just go back to the We are back there.
And we're back.
Hello.
So, when we took our little break, Volpez had decided to step through the darker side of the door in the final archway, and he decided to do it on his own. As he walks up to it, oh crap! I got up and walked right past it and forgot to grab the binder. Oh well.
Go grab it then. We can take a moment.
We're-
Go grab it.
We're already going.
Ugh.
Do you know deep speech?
No.
All right. So all you see,
I know Undercommon.
all you see on this door is runes that are shifting in shape and coiling in on themselves. But you can't quite make out what it reads. You touch it, and the stone hisses beneath your touch. A great serpentine figure coils in bas relief around the arch, its obsidian eyes glittering. Runes spiral inward like scales, ancient, rhythmic, whispering not in your ears but inside your skull. Truth lies buried beneath the serpent's skin. Only those who shed may see. The air smells of burnt incense and rot. Behind the door, you feel possibility, desire, a warmth that shouldn't be in a place this cold. Do you still go through?
Yes.
All right. When you step through, it is nothing but black. And think Stranger Things when 11 is doing her astral projection thingy. And you see Shiloh standing in front of you. He speaks in words that sound loving, but just don't feel right. He's coaxing you to stay, offering rest and resolution and reunion. What do what does Volpez do?
Very quickly first, you said truth lies beneath the serpent scales. Only those who shed
Macy.
may see. Thank you. All right. So he sees Shiloh. Who is he offering reunion with?
Who would Volpez want reunion with the most?
Those of which he can never see again. And he knows that. That would essentially be his dead parent.
Yeah.
Volpez knows they're dead. And because of the beliefs that his mother had taught him, he knows he'll see them again in the Raven Queen's Hall of Memories when he passes. And he's content waiting. this in his brain, it's almost like he can tell this isn't so. It's like this is off. And he goes to move past Shiloh.
As he moves past, the illusion falters. It shimmers, glitches, and then just blinks out of existence, leaving you alone in this black void. Another illusion pops up, this time above table illusion. This time, Volpez sees Rom appear in front of him. Not speaking, just standing there silently.
Volpez waits a moment to see if Brom speaks. And then just carries on, moving past.
You walk past, and Brom seems to just stay there. You continue walking through the void, and you see him coming up again as you continue walking, just standing still. Almost like an infinite hall that just loops back on itself. This time, when he speaks, he says, I have made a deal that crap, I don't remember if it's Marla or Mar. I think it's a Marla.
Mara,
Mara.
the wife?
Mara. That Mara, if she knew, would kill me dead on the spot for it. But I do not regret it.
Boy, what did you
Give
do?
me Give me a do an insight check.
I have disadvantage.
RNG Jesus, be merciful. RNG Jesus, please be merciful.
Nope.
RNG Jesus was not merciful. That would be an 8.
R and Jesus just said no.
RNG Jesus said no.
You can, with that, you can tell that this was a very hard thing for him to say. But beyond that, you don't really gather what you need to do.
He looks down at Brom. What sort of deal did you make?
Brom is silent for almost a solid minute. It is one that I cannot return from. But it is worth getting my son back. It is worth giving Mara her son back.
He shakes his head. What did you do, old man? Deal. What was the deal?
That I cannot share. Give me another insight check.
I'm this poor wee. I have been so good. Be nice to me. God damn it. I have disadvantage.
And it's even lower.
It's a 7.
Again, you can tell that he's being truthful. But this time as he is speaking, Bubba, I'm stealing something from you. This time as he is speaking, chains appear around his wrists and around his throat. And he says, I cannot say anymore. Give me one more insight check.
Okay, because I do have an assumption.
Hey, at least
It's
it's
better.
At least it's
Better.
It's a 10.
At least it's double digits.
At least it's double digits. Disadvantage be hitting hard.
So with a 10, you can see that that again he is 100% telling the truth. You can't sparse out the source of the chains that just appeared. But you also realize if you were to walk past, he would just appear again. In that he shared something hard to speak. He shared a hard truth with you. What if you shared a hard truth with him?
Upon this realization of what he needs to do and the possibility of what this deal might be, Volpez thinks of the hardest truth he Harry. One that has weighed on his mind and racked him with guilt, yet he cannot seem to find it within him to regret. It's a place of silence. And you, Shadow, will only hear me. Where I can unburden something that holds and chains me. The day that thing took hold the first time, I don't regret killing those children. I only regret it resulted in the death of my mother. They deserve for what they had done. Whether or not I was a child then too, does not matter. I'd do it again. But next time, and even still, now as I am, I'm going to kill that entire village and leave no house standing.
As you finish speaking, Rom nods. The illusion shatters. And you are thrown, almost physically, back out the door.
DM.
Yes.
From our vantage point, do we see Volpez being launched out the door?
I was just about to narrate that.
Okay.
Our brains are too much alike.
Mm-hmm.
From everybody else's point of view, Volpez was in there maybe 5 seconds. To Volpez, it felt like half an hour. And you guys saw him step through. And then maybe 5 seconds later, get thrown out like a bouncer throwing out a drunk white girl at a bar.
Tenacity will try and react to catch Volpez. If you'd allow.
I will allow. Go ahead and give me Oh, would that be athletics?
It's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an athletic.
Should I use my DM die or my death die?
Death.
I'm using
I was going to say DM.
Okay, here we go. Roll good. Roll high.
That is one of two numbers. That is one of two numbers. Which one was it?
It was a natural 20 for a total of
Yep.
24.
All right. So as Volpez is ejected from the door, Tenacity. I'll let you narrate how you catch him.
Okay. So as Volpez launches out the door, he will quickly um, interpose himself so that Volpez doesn't immediately hit the ground. He will take a knee and almost like a um uh whatever it's called, taking a knee to a catch for a football. He
Mm-hmm.
will uh put one hand on Volpez's upper back and neck and put the other hand around his midsection to brace.
All right. Volpez, what's your reaction getting launched like this and getting caught by Tenacity like that?
His breathing is heavy. The single eye that anyone can see is wide and almost like the pupil is like dilated. Like it is almost a pinpoint as he quickly jumps away from everyone. And just grips onto a tree, bracing himself. As he just pulls down his mask and vomits.
Um, Not getting closer to Volpez, but Tenacity would step in front of view of Volpez, almost blocking Volpez from everyone else, and just face everyone with his striding out.
Do me a favor.
Hmm.
Point your weapon at me.
He will do so. Can I make an insight check?
Go for it.
Okay.
Moth, I'll let you set the DC for this one. Because I think I know what you're doing. I'm pretty sure I know what you're doing.
I got a number in my head.
Okay. Oh, okay. Not bad. 21.
He's fighting something. He is very clearly fighting something as he's like he's wearing gloves. But they are currently digging into the tree bark like they are claws. And he's just panting. With the way his head is leaning forward, the hair is fallen this way, so you can kind of see the other eye. And both of them are glowing as he is focusing on the tree bark, fighting something internally. Like he's trying to hold something back. He lets out a snarl and just punches the tree, splintering some of the wood.
Tenacity will, with this display, reactively, will just put a hand behind him, almost like keeping everyone back with this physical cue,
Mm-hmm.
and will have his trident out, pointing towards Volpez, but will in a the only word that I can think of to describe this is he will posture himself in a submissive manner, even though he's got his trident pointed out. He will uh, posture in a submissive manner and take one step towards Lopez and see what his reaction is.
His eyes immediately just go to you. Stay back. And if I come towards any of you, you try to kill me. Is that understood? Like, he's being dead serious right now. If he comes towards any of you, he wants you to try to stop him. Kill him if you have to. Wipe that smile off your face, Torsten.
I will stop you with any means necessary. Killing will be a last resort, but I promise you, if it gets to that point, I will not hesitate.
Good. I'll be counting on that. As he finally just pulls out his water skin, washes out his mouth, spitting out the water, and then actually drinking some, puts the mask back up. Like, he looks as though he is in a cold sweat. And you can see with his movements as he starts moving forward and past the door that his movements are not quite stiff, not quite fluid. He's still fighting something internally. And he's keeping as much distance between y'all right now as possible. And it is very clear he doesn't want to hurt you guys at all. He doesn't exactly view you as friends yet, but he knows he doesn't want to hurt you. He is afraid right now that he will. So he's trying to keep that distance, and he is counting on you in particular to keep him away from everyone else.
Yeah.
Until he is him.
Yeah. He will, as you are walking forward towards the door, allowing you your distance, he will mirror your position laterally, so he is constantly in between you and the group.
Good.
I have a question. How much of that conversation would have been audible to everyone else?
Probably all of it.
At least Tenacity's side, because he would have been shouting towards Volpez.
Volpez was speaking more of a in a normal tone. He wasn't whispering.
Okay.
This is not something he is fully trying to hide. There are things he knows he shouldn't tell you yet because he doesn't trust you guys fully. But at the same time, he does care enough to tell you this much.
when Volpez had shouted, "Point the trident at me," Arletto, who had been standing across the clearing still, kind of in a daze, not really paying that much attention to anything, had looked up, and it seemed to not have broken him out of everything that he's going through, but he is paying much more attention to what's going on. He's actually watching. He didn't even react when Volpez came flying out the door. But when Volpez shouted like that, he reacted, and he's looking up and around and watching people and seeing it play out.
Bloodworth is doing a happy dance of, I was right about this guy. He's sus as fuck. That accurate, Torsten?
And I think that Temperance has kind of just been the watching, not really like responding, but because she's noticed that Rowena has been kind of sticking close to her as we start moving, she's also going to move herself to be one step closer to where Volpes is and keeping Rowena on the other side.
As they start moving, Arletto is going to move up between to try and get behind Tenacity, not getting ahead of Tenacity, but staying fairly close behind him.
Keep your distance a little, just in case I have to rush to intercede.
Arletto simply nods. He doesn't speak. Tenacity can probably tell that Arletto is almost forcing himself to be present for this. He's not. He is making himself pay attention.
All right. So after the time, Volpez, I'll let you decide how long.
Oh. It would probably be a good few minutes before he kind of starts. He's still tense as he walks, but you can tell he's basically back to normal. But he's now keeping a distance. And I'm going to give this one to you guys for free, no insight needed. Almost out of shame and fear.
I don't choose to relate to the obvious trauma that you have experienced, Volpes, but you do not have to be ashamed of harboring something like that.
Volpez stops. What is the worst thing you've ever done in your life? A life you regret taking. Think on those. The thing you regret the most. And it being the worst thing you've ever done. And then imagine not regretting. Imagine being willing to do it again. I feel guilt over what I did. Not because I did it, but because of what it resulted in. And the fact that I don't regret it. What has a hold of me is something I try to control. Fights back. Always whisper. You don't know what it's like, tiefling, to have the devil in your head. And he just keeps moving.
Above board, unknowingly, you just open and unlock the other side of the door.
My mic didn't pick that up, but I don't know if my mic picked that up, but I literally just screamed, fuck.
Your mic.
Your gain clipping kicked in. However, we saw it.
Yeah, it's just like he just hears that the sound, the click of, and he just stops, looks back at the other door. It's just like he just starts hussing basically in Gaelic and keeps moving.
The door opens in the opposite direction than it did when you walked through it. The shimmering side. The one that felt inviting is what opened. And you can tell that there is no trap this time. You can tell, all of you can tell and feel that this is the way to go. In fact, as you look through, on the other side of the door, you see a glade bathed in moonlight. A little too still, almost unreal. And you see a single gravestone in the center of it. What do you guys do?
Continue to cuss, turn around, and go through the door.
I can hear it too.
And he is cussing. It is my personal belief that there are two types of common. You have the common that everyone speaks, and then you have basically the different languages. He is currently full on cussing in Gaelic right now.
Oh, for sure.
The Irish
regional
form of it.
The regional common and then the global common.
Traders common
Essentially,
regional common.
Yeah, and he's basically doing the Irish form of Gaelic, cussing thoroughly in that under his breath as he turns around, basically pivoting on his heel and walks through.
I would say just kind of rewind a little bit. Before Volpez stomped off, Volpez probably would have seen a similar shared sentiment to your statement, and he just lets you walk off.
Arletto had gone for half a moment to say something, and then the door opened and he just stopped and he glanced back at it, his head tilted slightly.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh well.
Struggling with whispers, DM.
He covered up the more important one.
Yep. I am not explaining that.
That I only have one question to. Essentially,
Which is. What voice did you want me to do that in?
You'll know.
Oh dear.
You'll know.
That's a great
Oh, fuck.
answer.
I don't like that. I
Mm-mm.
don't like that, and I know the secret, and I don't like it.
So as those of you that walk up to this gravestone, you see the name Shiloh. But this can't be right. He's not dead, right? And beneath a black willow tree, you hear the faint caw of a raven, distant and echoing as if beyond this world. And a whisper rises, seemingly from the glade itself. The voice of the Raven Queen.
He is not gone. The pieces of him lie here now. Do you grieve him honestly? Only fear his absence.
What does everybody do?
Tenacity probably would have been the last one to go through the door as he's letting everyone pass, but also thinking about Volpez's words.
Lopez would walk towards the gravestone. And he just places a hand on it. Using druidcraft to frame the entire stone around the name. The name would still be visible. With flowering vines. And since this is a moonlit grove, vines of moon lily, flowers that only bloom at night.
With that, once Volpez crafts these moon lilies, everyone sees everyone sees the same vision. It is Shiloh, shackled in ethereal chains, perched high, high in a nest of bones, and guarded by a great raven whose feathers gleam like starlight. You get that very brief vision of him. And then are returned to the glade. And you see just 15 feet past where there wasn't before a shimmering portal nestled within a root choke threshold. A low mist spills out, scented faintly of lilac and rot. The runes around it pulse once, then go dark. What do you do?
Tenacity will go up to the gravestone. Face everyone and say, "Did you all see Shiloh just now?"
And Volpez will not.
Violetto nods as well, wordlessly.
Yes.
If we are going to travel together, what are we going to do? What is our next step? What is our plan? Especially now that this vision has presented itself. And he'll just gently put the trident down and lean on it a little bit.
We saved the boy. That's what we came here to do. That's what I intended.
I am in accord.
Violetto speaks for the first time since giving up the dagger. He speaks very haltingly. And he says quietly, I don't like leaving a job unfinished. Never done it before. But after that, like I said, and didn't finish speaking.
He will stand there, almost half expecting others to respond, and says, pointing at Rowena and Bloodworth, what about you two?
Follow wherever you guys go.
Was that Bloodworth or Rowena?
Bloodworth, yeah.
Bloodworth?
Sorry, I was trying to get a voice for
No, you're good.
it.
And you, ma'am? Looking at Rowena.
And she says, I will follow too.
He will look over at Temperance and he'll say, I know you were one of the first to walk through that gate when we first arrived here. I want to know what your thoughts and feelings are.
Go for the boy.
He will look at Volpez for a brief moment and then say, I guess we do so. I hope it doesn't come to it, but I would not hold back on any means necessary.
Volpez just nods.
And for free, you all can see a heavy weighted emotion as he says those words.
Now the question is, for you guys, which way is forward?
Didn't we only see one path, one that smelled of lavender and decay?
Lilacs.
That portal.
Lilac.
And it's lilac.
Thank you. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Tenacity will move to the front and walk along that path.
And as he does, that is where we are going to end our session. Oh,
As everybody walks to follow Tenacity, Temperance is going to stay behind for just a second, and she's going to stay at the gravestone, and she's going to think about what her deity has said to her in the past. And she's going to whisper to the gravestone, "We are going to come to find you, Shiloh, because everyone deserves a chance to choose their path." And then she's going to follow.
Well, that's where we'll end the session for the characters. We flash over to a cold, dimly lit chamber with stone walls, shrouded in perpetual shadow. The only light comes from the faint flicker of black candle flames, casting long, sharp shadows. The air is thick with the scent of decay and dust, and distant wailing or whispers echo faintly from beyond the room. Ethereal chains bind Shiloh, his arms stretched out, shackled in place. His usual mischievous grin is gone, replaced by frustration and confusion. His once proud posture has slumped from fatigue. He stands, or instead hangs, in defeat, his head slightly bowed as he looks down at the floor. A cold wind stirs through the chamber as the Raven Queen's figure materializes from the shadows. She does not walk, she simply is. Her presence felt before she is even seen. She stands before Shiloh, her pale figure is hidden beneath a mask of shadows. Her voice barely a whisper, yet echoing in the chamber.
You are an interesting creature, Shiloh. So full of light, and yet bound to darkness. You do not belong in this place, do you? It was not my intention to trap you. Not yet.
Her presence grows more tangible, a quiet, suffocating, yet oddly inviting force. She circles him slowly, like a hawk examining its prey.
Tell me, Shiloh, how does it feel to be on the other side of fate? To be trapped, at the mercy of those who never even asked for your loyalty?
He lifts his head slightly, his voice strained, but with a spark of defiance. I am no one's pawn. Not yours, not anyone's. If you think you can break me, you've got another thing coming. He shifts his weight in his chains, trying to stand taller despite the restraints. The Raven Queen stops before him, her gaze piercing. She leans close, her breath cold against his ear, as her words slip from her lips like silk.
Oh, I don't need to break you. You are far too valuable for that. You see, I have a proposition for you. A deal. I will release you from this prison. No chain, no binding. You'll walk away with your freedom, your life, free to return to your friends, beloved gang, your simple life.
Her words linger like a sweet melody, almost too tempting to resist.
But there is a small favor I ask in return. You, Shiloh, will work for me. You will serve as a double agent, a secret blade hidden in the heart of your people. You will guide and mislead them. When the time comes, you will bring them to me.
She steps back, giving him space, though the weight of her offer hangs in the air like a curse.
I will make your life precious once more. All I ask in exchange is your allegiance, your service in silence. You may still play the fool, but behind closed doors, you will serve me.
His expression falters, the weight of her words pressing against him. He struggles to maintain his usual bravado, but the temptation of freedom gnaws at him, sharp and insistent. You think I'm stupid enough to trust you? You think I'd betray them for you? He turns his head away, fighting the internal battle as the reality of the offer sinks in. What's in it for me? If I do this, how do I know you won't just kill me after I've done your dirty work? The Raven Queen steps back, her presence feeling as cold as death. She tilts her head, observing his struggle with calm amusement, as though she were watching a child learn to face their fears.
You doubt me? Very well, Shiloh. Here's what you shall receive. Your freedom, your place in the world restored. You may even find solace in your work. The path to your redemption is winding. I am offering you a chance to change your fate.
She extends a pale hand toward him, her fingers curled as though holding a thread of destiny.
One last thing. If you refuse me, I'll simply keep you here, locked away with no future, no hope. Your gang will never see you again. The fate you fear will be your own. Choose wisely.
Shiloh stands silent momentarily, looking up at the Raven Queen with defiance and resignation. The darkness of the chamber presses in on him. He knows that freedom is just out of reach, but at what cost? Fine, I'll do it. But you're making a mistake if you think I'm yours to control. Raven Queen smiles, and with a wave of her hand, the chains that bind Shiloh dissolve into shadow. He stands free. The weight of the bargain already clings to him like a second skin.
We shall see, Shiloh. We shall see.
And as this scene ends, we see Shiloh's conflicted expression, caught between the promise of freedom and the cost of his soul. And that is where we will actually end. So,
Oh boy.
thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Yee.
It was a heavy episode. So, thank you for bearing through it with us. If you want to watch it again, it will be up. This video will be up on our Twitch for about a week. And then it'll also be over on our YouTube, which is linked on our Twitch profile. free to watch anytime. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
And